A rough patch for the Cardinals was met with back-to-back wins against the Phillies. Mixed in was some solid pitching.
Took some off it and a strikeout to Schwarber.
Great defense.
Carlson over. Oh, he made the catch! Dylan Carlson!
And a historic moment.
Albert, 1,378 extra base hits. He passes Stan the Man, third all-time in Major League history.
The Dodgers visit St. Louis, coming off a 10-1 homestand and boast the National League's best record. A three-game set between two of baseball's most historic franchises begins tonight on Bally Sports Midwest.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Homestand continues on the banks of the Mississippi and Busch Stadium. Game one of a three-game set. The LA Dodgers and the St. Louis Cardinals. Welcome to the broadcast booth here at Busch. That's Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is with us as well. It'll be Jordan Hicks making a spot start tonight for St. Louis. But generally speaking, Brad, the starters last time through, they've been very good.
They have been really good. As much as it was great to see the offense get going, you look at what the starting pitchers have been doing for the Cardinals, averaging over 6 innings a start, a low 1.69 ERA. This is where it all begins. These are the guys that are tasked to set the tempo for the ball game, and the tempo has been good here recently.
Now let's take a look at game one, the Discover matchup. And a couple of guys that haven't made a lot of starts this year. We're talking about Mitch White and Jordan Hicks.
Well, Jordan Hicks is going to be looked at. He's going to turn this lineup over. He will be serving as more of a traditional opener for this ball game. Matthew Liberatore will still be looked at to eat some bulk innings, but a guy that can be highly effective and get you set up on the right foot.
Historic last night with a double off the wall in right. Albert Pujols' third all-time in extra base hits in Major League history. A closer look at number 5 coming up on Bally Sports.
Game number 1 between the Cardinals and Dodgers from Busch Stadium. Paul Goldschmidt signing autographs there for some very lucky fans. Let's take a look at the Cardinals lineup for tonight's game. Tommy Edman leading things off. Dylan Carlson will follow. Goldschmidt, as you see right there, batting third. Nolan Arenado bat cleanup. Gorman batting 5th. Albert Pujols will DH and bat 6th. Juan Yepez, Corey Dickerson, and Andrew Kisner rounding out the rest of the lineup. Albert Pujols has stepped up big at the plate in an offensive way that really we've seen from him before, but this was historic because this weekend where he had that home run and oh so close to a homer, but those 2 extra base hits, passes Stan Musial for third all-time in MLB history, 1,378 of them. And you see the crowd going absolutely wild because if you're there being able to watch this, you're watching baseball history. It's pretty cool. It was also announced that Albert Pujols is going to participate in next week's Home Run Derby. It's going to be his 5th appearance. He'll be joining the reigning back-to-back Home Run Derby champ Pete Alonso, Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, Kyle Schwarber, and 2 other players to be named later. Albert looking for his first Home Run Derby title. 2003, he finished as a runner-up, so he will look to build on that. When we come back, we're going to take a trip around the league. That's next here on Bally Sports Midwest. All-star Jose Ramirez, RBI single. We've seen him do that before. Plating 2. Guardians go on to win the first game against the White Sox 4-1 as Shane Bieber pitched a 3-hitter for his first complete game this year. Jordan Hicks in 4 appearances versus the Dodgers, 2 saves, and he hasn't allowed a hit. We'll see him on the bump. Up next, Danny Mack and Brad Thompson have the call.
All-star break. One of the game's best comes through St. Louis in the LA Dodgers. 2 historic franchises square off. Dodgers and Cardinals coming up. Midwest, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Big crowd with the Dodgers in town. Cardinals just completed a 4-game set split between the Cardinals and the Phillies. It's 86 degrees. And along with Brad Thompson and Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. As Jordan Hicks will come in from the bullpen to make the start. Literally coming from the bullpen to make the start tonight.
I'm digging it. I like it. Jordan Hicks serving as the opener in this ball game. Matthew Liberatore will be looked to eat up some innings in the middle, but part of the key is keep it like it was before. Well, he was throwing great out of the pen, so he comes in from there. I like it.
So Ali Marmol and the Cardinals 2 games back of Milwaukee, and the Brewers at Minnesota tonight. We'll keep an eye on that ball game. On the other side, the Dodgers, they are one of the hottest teams in baseball. They're 56-29, and in a blink of an eye, they're up 7.5 games against San Diego.
It felt like we just looked about a week ago and it seemed a little bit tighter. Well, they just had an 11-game homestand. They won 10 of those. They were on a 20-game stretch without having a day off until yesterday. They went 16-4. They're playing some good baseball. They're pitching well. The offense is great. It's going to be a tough test here for the Cardinals.
Nolan Arenado resides in San Clemente, California. Grew up a Dodgers fan. One of his favorite players, Sean Green, and he's back at third tonight. Jordan Hicks, 7 starts this year, 0-4, ERA near 6. As a reliever, perfect ERA, 2-0. And the opponent's hitting 133 against him. However, he's able to air it out here tonight. It's going to be a short appearance, and that's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Yeah, this is no traditional start here. You know what he's got. He's coming with that hard sinker. Then we saw him 104 miles an hour recently. Over 100 pretty much most of the time. And that slider can be big-time swing and miss for him as well.
So Mookie Betts elected to his 6th All-Star game. He's got 33 career leadoff homers. He's at the top. Then Trey Turner and Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Justin Turner, Trace Thompson, Hanser Alberto, Cody Bellinger, and the catcher batting 9th, Austin Barnes. So here we go to the historic franchises in this game, squaring off for the first time in 2022, the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Cardinals at home are 26-18. The Dodgers on the road are 10 games above the 500 mark. Betts in right field. He's played some second base this year as well. And the first pitch is strike, a fastball, 100 to start the night. 272 with 20 home runs. Spent some time on the IL. And truly one of the game's great players in Mookie Betts. The 0-1. Another fastball, and that's taken just a bit high at 101.
You look at this Dodgers team, boy, they have been banged up. Got a ton of guys on the IL. Even Betts has been dealing with the rib issue. He was hurt, as you mentioned before, and still has that lingering pain, but putting up solid numbers, and he's a great player. MVPs riddled through this lineup. Got 4 of them.
2 balls and 1 strike on Betts. Longtime Red Sox outfielder, and then signed a long-term deal with the Dodgers. The 2-1 just off the plate at 101, and it's 3-1.
That was a no-brainer too when you're talking about that long-term deal. If you're going to go out and you're going to make that move, bring Mookie Betts in. The Red Sox were looking to dump some cash, and the Dodgers said, we'll take him.
Yeah, and the Dodgers are flush in cash, and that'll be a leadoff walk. Corey Dickerson, another start, and he is in left field tonight. Dylan Carlson in center, Juan Yepes in right field. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Arenado, Edman, Gorman, Goldie on the infield. Kisner behind the plate. His 45th start of the season, and you have to go back to Mike Matheny in 04 to find a catcher outside of Yadier Molina to make this many starts. Double play ball off the bat of Trey Turner. Has to be hit hard because he can fly. It's a double play. And the Cardinals have turned 91 ground ball double plays.
This has been the hallmark. Not to say that you ever want to get yourself in trouble with a leadoff walk against a team like this and a guy like Trey Turner, but it was a perfect sinker. 101 miles an hour in on the hands, gets that hard ground ball, and you know anything hit to Nolan Arenado, he's going to be able to roll that thing up.
And now it is Freddie Freeman, one of those MVPs that Brad spoke of. He won it in 2020, and that's hit out of play.
Crazy how one ground ball can change how you feel about things. It was a leadoff walk, and the first thought is, uh-oh, okay, here we go against this Dodger team. You know they can put up runs quickly. By the way, Freddie Freeman, a guy that can hit fastballs very well.
And he is 6 for his last 13. He's driven in 20 in his last 22. 5-time All-Star. California native and signed as a free agent away from Atlanta. And the 1-1 pitch. Well, against the St. Louis Cardinals, Freeman, pretty good numbers. 61 games, the 12 home runs, 324 the average. Got 2 of the infielders, matter of fact 3, their feet on the outfield grass. Fastball and a strike, says Will Little at 102. Dan Iasonia, the crew chief, he's at first. Ben May at second. Scott Berry down at third.
I love this ability to get that fastball in. It's a sinker that starts in off the plate and tails back. There's room inside to Freddie Freeman.
The 2-2 hit the other way and a base hit for Freddie Freeman. Dickerson near the line and quickly gets it back in. And Freeman held to a single with a base hit against the shift.
Well, just saying there's room inside against Freddie Freeman. This one leaks over the plate just a little bit. Still a decent pitch, but it's down, and his ability to go inside out with it. Look how pretty that swing is. You just see him just trying to drop the head, get the barrel to it. You get the barrel to 103 on that, you're doing something right.
He's some kind of hitter, isn't he? Great player. And the DH tonight, Will Smith, 32nd overall pick back in 2016. 5 for his last 16 with a double and is driven in 4. And that pitch in for a strike.
I like the way, though, that Jordan Hicks is approaching this. Coming in from out of the bullpen, not wasting anything. You hear the grunt on that fastball at 102. He's letting it rip right here.
And the 0-1. And that's the difference. As a starter, he would back off to, 98, 99. But
Sure.
now as a guy that gets an inning or two to start the game, and that's going to be it, he's letting it fly.
Yeah, Dan, that was always my experience. Back it off to 97, 98. Let it move a little bit.
That's right. Worked out well. And that pitch taken high at 102, and it's a count of 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner at first.
When you do look at Hicks, though, and he does have the ability to throw that max effort, get that sink. You start that focus just middle down. Middle down, you get your ground ball.
The righty's hitting just .203 against Hicks this year. 2-2.
That's it. Sights are set down. Hand is on top of that sinker.
Jordan making his 14th appearance of the season. He pitched 2 days ago against the Phillies, win an inning, and it was only 10 pitches in that appearance. There's the slider. So the last 4 appearances coming out of the bullpen, spent time on the IL. 5 innings in relief, only 3 hits and no runs. His last start was back on May 24th against the Blue Jays.
I think we really forget about how little Jordan Hicks has really pitched over the last few years. 10 games in 2021, didn't play in 20. There's not been a lot of reps for him.
And walk number 2 here in this first inning. And it brings in Justin Turner. And swinging a hot bat. His last 10 hitting close to 500 with 4 home runs. He is the all-time Dodgers leader in postseason games played, hits, and at-bats. This guy at the plate, with all the great players they've had, tells you about the run the Dodgers have been on and the player that he's been right in the middle of things.
Yeah, it sure has been. He's talking about finding the right home. I mean, when he came over from the Mets, nobody expected him to turn into this guy. He revamped his swing completely and has turned into a beast. I mean, that guy's been the heartbeat of what they're doing.
2 on and 2 outs. And the 0-1. Lined and foul, nothing at 2. Opposition hitting just 194 against Hicks with runners in scoring position.
The thing about Jordan Hicks is he's so difficult to square up. And you and I have talked about this quite a bit. Hicks with his stuff, you'd think there'd be more swing and miss there with 102 to 104 miles an hour.
He doesn't miss bats.
Not a ton.
No.
Not a ton. But you know what? He's very difficult to square up too. And when you have a defense as good as the Cardinals, throw that thing within the strike zone and let those guys do some work on these weak ground balls. By the way, with the fastball, I like it in and in off the plate here. I think you can get him to swing.
And the 0-2 pitch to Turner. Long look by Hicks as he steps off the pitching rubber. Will Smith, the runner at first. Freddie Freeman is at second base. And now time called.
Justin Turner very good on the breaking ball down. So if you're going to throw that pitch, you want to make sure it's under the zone or away.
And the 0-2. Good pick by Kisner, 1-2.
I think it's also just a good change of sight right there. You give him that slider down and away, maybe come right back to that sinker, hard sinker in.
Cardinals with a 6-1 win last night against the Phillies. Earned a split in the series against Philadelphia. Swing and a miss and a strikeout of Turner. Dodgers will strand a pair in this top of the first. Coming up, it's Tommy Edman, Dylan Carlson, and the All-Star Paul Goldschmidt. No score. Tommy Edman. Lewis lineup, and then Dylan Carlson, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Nolan Gorman, Albert Pujols, Juan Yepez, Corey Dickerson, Andrew Kisner. And the first pitch taken for a ball. It's Mitch White, and White making his 13th appearance, 8th start of the season.
Mitch White debuted in 2020, pitched a couple of games, was a part of what they were doing last year, and he's been very solid for them in the rotation this year.
And the Hyundai pitch arsenal on Mitch White.
Yeah, mainly four-seam and slider. He did have a couple of games in the minors, and they tasked him with working on his sinker. It's been a better pitch for him, and they've been fine-tuning those mechanics for him. Really working on that lower half, getting him to work more efficiently.
And Edman on the ground to second baseman Henzer Alberto, and Tommy is just 1 for 13 now on this homestand.
Well, and that's exactly what they're trying to get him away from right there, is that pitch that's away where he just tries to pulls it and rolls over. Try to get him to hit those line drives. Your Toyota key to the game, though, here against White is be selective, Dan. This is a guy that does not throw a ton of strikes necessarily. He will nibble around the zone. Find something that you can drive. White is not going to be overpowering. He's not going to come out here and just blow everything by you. See something, find one of those four seams up in the zone and put your swing on it.
Dylan Carlson, 3 for 4, had a outfield assist in the ball game last night. So he dropped down a bunt. Because of that, Justin Turner is in, and even with the bag, off the line at third. 22nd game in center. And as a center fielder, batting .324, and overall comes in at .260.
He dropped down a what, Dan?
An actual bunt.
I like it. Use the toolbox, right?
That's right.
If you've got that skill, that is a skill. And there are some guys, look, you will never be tasked with bunting. You go up there, you hit your doubles, hit your home runs. There are others there, you utilize a little bit of everything. Dylan Carlson handles the bat well, does so from both sides. Sometimes you got to drop one down.
And Carlson holds up. So for White, last start was back on July 6th against Colorado. He went 5 2/3 and fully stretched out 102 pitches in that game. Now the 2-1 pitch to the Cardinals center fielder with a shift on the right side. Hit the other way. Glove by Turner. And the out. And it brings in Goldie. Mookie Betts in right field. Cody Bellinger in center. Trace Thompson is in left. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Turner and Turner. Justin and Trey on the left side. Alberto Freeman on the right side. And Barnes is behind the plate. And the Sunfield with the early start. And a strike to Goldie, who's 0 for his last 8, homerless in his last 13 games.
Been sitting on 299.
Yes.
I'm ready for your call.
I'm ready too. The 0-1. And nothing into the count.
That's the kind of rip, though, you like seeing Goldie take. The thing about a guy like Paul Goldschmidt, you realize he's going through an 0 for 8, hasn't homered in a while. Tough times don't last for a guy like him.
It's been the stretch that he's had here in 2022. Not long, and that's off the plate, but long stretches of games in which he goes hitless or homerless, those kind of things. Very consistent.
Yeah, well, I think that for him, it's just a culmination of things. It's the fact that he's a student of the game. He works so hard every single day to get himself prepared for the task at hand.
Off the plate, and it's 2-2. Well, Goldie saw the Dodgers a lot in the National League West. 33 home runs against LA. Over 100 runs batted in nearly a full season, 143 games.
It's an all-star year.
Yeah.
You know, numbers like that will get you paid.
And they did.
Yeah, turns out worked well.
Oh, yeah. The 2-2. And a swing and a miss. And a strikeout for Mitch White, his first in the game. 1-2-3 go the Cardinals. Second inning rolls in. No score, top of the second, and we check in with
Yadier Molina is in Puerto Rico dealing with a right knee issue. The good news is he will be coming back soon. Ali Marmol says there is now a plan in place for Yadi. The plan is to have Yadi rehab in late July and hopefully rejoin the Cards for that first homestand in August. Couple other notes. Brendan Donovan had been under the weather but is available off the bench tonight. He told me his illness was not COVID related and he is feeling better. And Tyler O'Neill was hoping to return from his right wrist issue today, but there was a little soreness after his first full day of baseball activity. So, Danny, they're going to give it another day.
All right, Jimmy, there's Tyler O'Neill. Good news on the injury front for the Cardinals. Hopefully Bader back soon as well. Health a big issue right now for St. Louis, and this is Trace Thompson.
You just see O'Neill sitting there, and Donovan, who's been such a big part of what you're doing. I look at O'Neill specifically and think about how much different this team feels and looks with him out there. Gold Glove caliber defense, elite speed. You know the bat that he had last year.
Little chopper hit to short. Tommy Edman, the quick transition out of the glove to get Thompson and the first out. LA is here. Nelly, St. Louis native, out to watch a little Major League Baseball.
How has Nelly looked the same for the last 20 years?
Well,
he's doing right.
He said the same thing to Jim Hayes.
I heard about that.
He told Jim, they saw each other before the game, and he said, "You never age." And I have to agree with that.
I figure out what those guys' diets are. I got a feeling I know what Jim Hayes is. It must not be the diet.
Jim's looked at least 75 for a good 20-year period.
Wow, you said it.
Here's Hanser Alberto. Jimmy is young, spry, looks fantastic. And we're lucky he's part of this team. That's where you're supposed to jump in and agree with.
Oh, I just didn't want to jump on any plays.
No.
We are very fortunate that Jimmy's a part of the team.
Good pitch. 102 with run and sink.
How do you square that up?
You can't.
I mean, really. What we saw Freddie Freeman do, that 103-mile-an-hour sinker in, was incredible. Dropped the head on it, shot it the other way. That's about the only chance you got.
Yeah, the other aspect of Jim too is at some point he'll get the wave going.
Yeah, every single night, even on the road, we've seen it.
Yep.
Real dedication to his craft
and a great teammate. 2-2 the count on Alberto. Hitting .221 and a foul ball. He has spent time with Texas, Baltimore, Kansas City, and now here with the Dodgers. Johan Oviedo getting loose under the watchful eye of Brian Eversgerd. And that's just a little bit outside, so Alberto decided not to offer at it.
I got to credit him. Look, he knows the strike zone.
It's a good foot and a half, maybe two outside to the backstop. But again, you got to understand the strike zone.
Some guys get jumpy, some don't.
That's right. And a 3-2 put in play. Slowly hit. Hicks to Goldie. And the out. World Baseball Classic, it is back. Qualifying rounds for the 2023 World Baseball Classic are taking place September. Visit worldbaseballclassic.com. You think, Goldie, when Hicks hops on that is like, uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, especially he's got that sinker. It could run up the line. You worry about that a little bit, too. I think about that oftentimes, too, when Hicks picks over. I mean, it's like 97 over to first base. By the way, we were joking around about a sinker that was well off the plate. Alberto doesn't swing. That was a slider that was a good foot and a half off the plate, and he did swing.
Yeah.
Just tells you how quickly you have to make a decision when Hicks is on the mound.
Here's Bellinger hitting .211. Cardinals, and this is Bellinger's 6th season in Los Angeles, but they've really held him in check. Overall, 180 against St. Louis, and at Busch, 179. And the 1-0 taken high, 2 balls, no strikes. This is a guy that's been an MVP, but still trying to gain traction from a couple of years ago.
It really has been weird, hasn't it? Rookie of the year when he busted into the league in 2017. 2019 was that MVP year, and then since then it's, I don't want to say lost, but hasn't been the same, that's for sure. Playing an elite center field, but that's not exactly what you're fully expecting. You'd like the total package. He's still a net benefit for what he's able to do out in the field, but you're expecting a lot more power numbers from him.
Dodgers have had 25 comeback wins this year. Most in the National League. Only the Yankees have had more. And that's hit out to left and foul. Barely. And a nice play made by that young fan. Brings a glove, saves his buddy. Now they can smile about it, and he's got a souvenir.
That's how good Nolan Arenado is. All you have to do.
Oh, nice play.
You just wear a Nolan jersey. You're making every play.
Flash in the leather. Now they're showing it on the video board. Yeah, nice work. It backs up inside. Well, those two buddies will have something to talk about the rest of their lives.
Yeah, they're saying, can we go back to school tomorrow, please? We're just on TV.
3-2 pitch. And he walked him. So 3 walks issued by Hicks. Fairly tight zone tonight. Would you agree?
Yeah, look, I think that he has missed on most of these, but there have been some borderline calls with home plate umpire Will Little.
And that's going to be it. So Hicks, 38 pitches, inning and a third. You see Hicks asking Kisner, where are those pitches? So he gives up a hit, strikes out a man, gets a double play, 3 walks, and now Johan Oviedo.
Oviedo, Chevy called to the pen. Pitched a couple of days ago against the Phils, inning and a third, 2 hits, no runs, struck out 2. Cardinals bullpen here in the month of July has been really a strong part of their run here in July. .98 ERA in 36 2/3, only 4 earned runs allowed.
The group has been solid. We spent so long talking about where's that bridge to the back end of the pen. Well, I think you're finding it in a lot of different guys. And Johan Oviedo, he's been another one of those. He can come in, he can get you an out, he can give you multiple innings. I feel like we're starting to see Johan really trust his fastball and trust his stuff and see how it plays in the zone.
So 2 outs and a runner at first base. A swing and a miss by Austin Barnes. He has 8 hits total on the road. 4 of the 8 have gone for home runs. Right-handers 20 for 50. That's a .400 average against Oviedo. He is really good against the lefties. They're just 2 for 31.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Popped up left side. Arenado is over near the sidewall and with room. Nolan puts it away in foul territory. Arenado, Gorman, Albert Pujols coming up. Friday, Cardinals Valley Sports Midwest pay tribute to local military men and women stationed across the globe and serving our country. It's Valley Sports Salutes coming Friday, July 15th. Among active players, Goldie has 33 home runs, #1 against the Dodgers. This guy is second, 28 against Los Angeles. And they're also 1 and 2 active players in runs batted in. Goldie 101 and Nolan 90. Second inning for Mitch White. And a foul ball.
Well, you remember, Dan, when the rumors were swirling around Nolan Arenado, where was he going to land? LA kept being a spot that people would bring up. Obviously from the Southern California area. Mentioned the numbers that he's put up against him. Boy, I'm glad he found this landing spot.
Me too. And the 0-1. 0-2. Meanwhile, White grew up in the Bay Area. He was a Giants fan. But Dodger Blue ran deep in the family. His grandparents, mother and aunt, immigrated to the U.S. from South Korea. That happened in 1969. And his grandfather almost instantly became a diehard Dodger fan. Along with his Uncle Jay, White's grandfather, they would watch the Dodgers play almost every night, listen to Vin Scully. And White himself was not a huge prospect or baseball player in high school. Here's a 1-2. Hit up the middle. Alberto makes the play. So he didn't start playing high school seriously basically until the back end junior senior year. And he said, I just wanted to pitch in high school, have a little fun, didn't take it all that serious. He pitched about 25 innings total in high school. Then he had elbow issues that limit him, but then he would show enough that Santa Clara gave him a scholarship. He had Tommy John surgery his freshman year, missed that first season, and he said the time off coming back from Tommy John changed his career, changed his eating habits, how he worked out, how he looked at baseball, and that's when he became a prospect.
Yeah, you know what? It happens oftentimes when you have Tommy John, because there's no other time in your baseball life where you really have a year. You have a year to get your body right, to work on a lot of different things, and especially early on in the rehab where you just can't throw.
Nolan Gorman hits sharply. And what a play here. Alberto to White past the diving Freddie Freeman. And a nice play all around.
Everybody asks, why do we shift all the time? This is why. Goes past the diving first baseman. Very good feed. White does a good job of getting himself to the base. That's not an easy throw here for Alberto to be able to make that to the pitcher on the run.
Albert now all alone in extra base hits. Third place. One thing the Dodgers do, their fan base travels well, and fans on both sides giving him a standing ovation. And last night at the very top of the wall, extra base hit number 1,378. And Bocatai was Stan the Man. The 0-1. Albert hits it out to deep left. It is gone! Albert Pujols. Home run number 685. He is locked in. And the fans loving it here at Busch. Brad, he is taking the best at-bats the last 7 to 10 days that he's taken all year.
There's a reason he's getting the reps that he's getting right now. He's seeing the ball so well. This is vintage Albert right here. It's a sinker. It's in off the plate, and he's able to pull the hands in, get the barrel to it. The place goes nuts. Nice start here.
The curtain call for Albert Pujols, even with the Dodger blue behind their dugout, their fans on their feet for the curtain call. And the legend. Awesome. And the 1-0 pitch to Yepez. Yepez, his first hit, the homestand. He's now 1 for 15 on the homestand. Albert Pujols is now homered off of 446 different pitchers. Only Barry Bonds, 449 different pitchers, has hit more home runs. It's incredible.
It is incredible. I mean, this guy, it's seriously, you run out of words, and we saw it for so long. But the fact that you get to see it, and he keeps climbing all of these record boards, it's just, it's special. Special to see that double that he hit off the wall last night, to see him continue his race to hopefully 700, wherever it lands. It doesn't matter. It's landing in Cooperstown, and you get to see it again.
Here's Corey Dickerson. 2 for 3, drove in 3 last night. His first home run as a Cardinal here at Busch Stadium. Jimmy had a nice visit with Corey on the pregame show, and Corey talked about putting a little pressure on himself, perform a little bit better, but was open and honest about the struggles. Very well done by Jimmy. Here's a 1-0. And a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It doesn't matter how long you've been in the league and how much success you've had. When you struggle, it weighs on you. And especially when you get to a new place, you sign a contract, you know what your role is going to be. And it's an unfamiliar role for Dickerson, a guy that's used to be playing every single day. We'd love to see him have days like that yesterday. You hope you build on something.
And that is hit out of play. Albert had not scored in 24 straight games, and now he has scored in 3 straight for St. Louis.
Streaking at the right time, and when you need him the most. I mean, seriously, if you look at the way that the Cardinals have been playing the last week plus, hasn't been their best baseball of the year. The offense has been slow to come by. We're starting to see the pitching come around here, but Albert has stepped up for you.
And with that run, he's 3 away from Lou Gehrig for 11th all-time in the history of baseball. And with the game played tonight, 5 away to tie Stan the Man. 3,026 games. As Dickerson hits it out to center, Bellinger back over his head. And that'll be a ground rule double, and the Dodgers get a break. That ball carried.
Dodgers do get a break, and this is a great stroke right here by Dickerson. Man, we're seeing him swing with a little bit of aggression that we haven't seen most of the year. This is a breaking ball. It's down, it's under the plate, just gets the head to it and drives it. It's a strong dude to be able to do that, carry that to the track.
And as you mentioned, Bellinger is an outstanding defender in center. So runners at second and third. Here's Kisner. And a bloop single and a run batted in. Ball game last night, 2 for 8 on this homestand. That home run, by the way, was number 451 as a Cardinal. for Albert Pujols, and Kisner did go, and that's strike one. And the 0-1 pitch gets him through, and a run will score. Yepez is in there. Head first slide. 2-0 St. Louis. Shaking that hand we saw with Alec Bohm last night at second base. Had a dislocation of a finger, but Yepez seems to be okay. 2-0 Cardinals.
It looks like as Yepez is coming in, that left hand ends up hitting the pitcher wide. He spikes the slider. It gets away. Just talking about how the Dodgers caught a break with the ground rule double, and a better look at that hand coming in right there off the left foot of White. Luckily has that glove on, takes away a little bit of that impact.
Kisner hits it up the middle, and it's a base hit. Scoring Dickerson. 3-0 St. Louis. 4 consecutive hits for the Cardinals.
It's a fastball down the middle here to Kisner. We're seeing a nice short compact swing. Just shoots it right back where it came from. Turner's trying to range to it. Looks like he misplayed the hop a little bit. Well, either way, the Cardinals got something rolling.
Home run, single, double, single. And now Tommy Edman. And a fastball taken high. The 1-0 off the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. No one throwing for the Dodgers in their bullpen. And coming into this start, we really weren't all that sure or certain as to how long Mitch White would go in this ball game. They got Tony Gonsolin tomorrow, 11-0. Tyler Anderson, a lefty, 9-1. As Edman pops it up and out of play.
Well, it does when you have back-to-back guys like that lined up that get you deeper and deeper into games. It does give you the ability to go to your pen a little bit earlier.
And that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I mean, really the same case as it was set to be Matthew Liberatore in this one. They've gone with the opener of Hicks and now Oviedo, but same idea. You've got Wainwright, Hudson the next 2 days for the Cardinals. You expect to be able to lean on those guys with innings. So, hey, bullpens, what do you got in this one?
Kisner, the runner at first. Edman, a swing and a miss. Evens it up at 2-2. Now, we've seen that before. Those two together, joined at the hip, it seems, and always talking hitting in baseball and situations in the game. Fun to see.
Pretty sure you're not going to find a better mentor than Albert Pujols. You're a right-handed hitter in this league, and that guy will let you bend his ear? Yes, please.
Out of play. Well, Kisner now back-to-back starts with a run batted in. First time since his first 2 starts of the year. April 12th and then another one on the 15th.
It's big, man. Been looking for some offensive production out of that spot. The catcher spot is just not giving you too much this season. Looking for somebody to spark something. Still got to be very good behind the plate. I'd say that's most important, but the offense, you got to get it where you can.
2-2 is pulled foul. You think about it, this Cardinals offense, it's been 2 guys from day one. Arenado, Goldie. But keys to that are Tommy Edman getting on. Brendan Donovan was playing at an all-star caliber level. Kind of came back down to earth. You expected that. But those 2 guys would get on, and they'd be brought in by those 2. They need to lengthen this lineup.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly. Just those big hits are a lot bigger when you got somebody that put themselves in a good position.
Hit the other way and under the glove of Justin Turner into left field.
Kisner. They throw behind him, and the tag is just a tad bit shy as he's back in there. That's 5 hits in a row for St. Louis, and it brings in Dylan Carlson.
Well, right here for Tommy Edman, it was a ball that he went the other way with. It sneaks under the glove here of Turner. Takes kind of a funky hop right there on that lead, on the edge there where the grass and the dirt meet. Ball stays down. He is expecting the hop to come up. But the fact that Tommy hit it that way, it allowed him to barrel it, as opposed to in his first at-bat, we saw him take that same pitch and roll it over to second.
So the adjustment in the game.
You have
First
to.
and second now. Dylan Carlson grounded out to third, first time up.
It's ruled air under the glove of Turner. And for Turner, just his 3rd error this year.
First and second. And a pitch high, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, you know, if you're Mitch White, it's been a struggle in this inning. 4 consecutive hits, then the error. You've given up the home run, given up 3 runs, and he does not want to face Goldie with the bases loaded.
He does not. This is a count that Dylan can let it rip.
Ooh, and he did. Fouled back.
Yeah, you know, Mitch White is thinking about exactly what you're talking about, and you know that Dylan Carlson knows that as well. He's going to get a good opportunity here.
And the 2-1 pitch to Carlson. Three and 1. Cardinals winners of 2 in a row, and the red hot Dodgers coming into play, looking for their season high 8th win in a row and 12 out of 13. Chance here for Carlson on 3 and 1. Up the middle, but positioned perfectly. It's Turner, and he makes the play. The shift giveth and it takes away sometimes. Nelly loving it. Love that too. And a curtain call, 3-0.
Second time through a lineup now, as the Dodgers will have 1, 2, and 3, starting with Betts. 7, 8, and 9 hitters last 3 games. We talk about having others step up with production. Well, 7, 8, 9 has done that here in the last 3 games for St. Louis.
And you've needed it. You've needed it bad. Dickerson, been nice to see him do what he's doing here last couple of days. Kisner, back-to-back games with RBIs. I think Sosa driving a run yesterday with a double down the line. Good breaking ball from Nola that he was able to hit. You need production top to bottom.
And the 0-1 ripped foul. How about Albert's ability again to get the hands in, pull them in, barrel to the ball, keep it fair, and hits a home run?
I mean, it's vintage.
It really is.
I mean, that's that swing. He might not be the same exact guy as he was before, but he's still got some of those same tendencies.
Man, oh man.
And especially if he's got a beat on you, and that's something we talk a lot about with Albert, is the preparation that goes in beforehand. You know, he's breaking down Mitch White on video. You know what he's seeing, what he's doing to right-handed hitters, and he's seeing, all right, where's my opportunity? Where can I hurt him? And he saw that pitch out of the hand and was able to get the head to it.
Ooh, just missed. And it's a count of 1-2. Betts walked his first time up.
pretty good slider right there. Mookie Betts, one of the best in the game, just not chasing.
Doesn't chase there, did not go, and it's 2-2.
That's just another good example. He sees a pitch away, doesn't pull the trigger, keeps those hands back. You've shown him a couple of times away. I think you can run a fastball in, especially if you elevate it a little bit.
And the 2-2. Kisner kind of taking a peek into the St. Louis dugout as if to say, boy, this was happening with Jordan Hicks and now with Oviedo.
Yeah, they're borderline pitches that you'd love to be able to get. That one's up. It's a little bit off.
And the 3-2. Fouled back. Bet steps away. Hicks went an inning and a third. No runs, one hit. Oviedo got the final out in the top of the second. And now the first out here in the third with a strikeout.
That's a good pitch right there. That's 96, letting it rip, four-seam fastball after you showed him a couple of really good sliders off the plate. You don't get the call. Show him a breaking ball away. You don't get the call. You run the heater up there. Mookie Betts saying, no, no, no way, can't be. Yeah, it is. That's a good pitch.
Little check swing and Turner holds up. Well, Trey Turner will be a free agent. Dansby Swanson also a part of that shortstop market. That's to the backstop, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. This is a all-around terrific player.
He is. He is. He's a guy that obviously hits for average. Won a batting title last year. Will steal bags. Great defender. And I got a feeling that they're going to be backing up a Brinks truck to his house.
Man, the 2-0. And that is pulled foul. Since the start of the pandemic season of 2020, hit safely in 232 games. That's best in all of baseball. Next on that list, Paul Goldschmidt. Tommy Edman, by the way, is in the top 5. And the 2-1 pitch to Turner. Now 2-2. Home plate umpire Will Little is giving the high strike here tonight.
Yeah, and really that one right there appeared to be above the zone. It was the breaking ball from Johan Oviedo. One of the few pitches that may be borderline he may have gotten wrong. I think he's been really solid here early in this ball game.
And the 2-2 on its way. Put in play. Slowly hit up the middle. Quickly Edman. Man, Turner can fly. That wasn't even close.
That's how you win a batting title right there. It's not all just lasers you hit everywhere. It's the fact that you have the ability to turn a pitch that you absolutely missed. A breaking ball down and away. You turn it into a hit as Tommy Edman's playing in that hole. Yeah, he can scoop. Wow.
So he has 17 stolen bases this year. 220 in his career. The Dodgers as a team with 58. And they will be aggressive with Turner. Shift on the right side now. Freddie Freeman. Freeman, the base hit to left off of Hicks back in the first inning, then left stranded.
I'm still not exactly sure how Freddie Freeman was able to get that base hit to left. He's 103 miles an hour, inner half, just able to drop the head. If you're going in, up is better. There you go.
Went in again and pop foul. Odd for you still to see Freddie and Dodger Blue?
Yeah. No, it does not look right at all. I keep thinking at some point they're just going to make that switch back. It's not how it works, though, when you sign a multi-year deal.
He's already been back to Atlanta. Atlanta came through L.A. Both times very emotional for Freddie, especially back in Atlanta when he received his World Series ring, and they gave him the opportunity as a visiting player to address the crowd too.
You don't see that.
No.
That just tells you the respect that they have for him there, and obviously a difficult thing, but for the Dodgers, you say, all right, well, you're ours now. You've had your moments. Hope you enjoyed them. Now help us win a championship again.
Cardinals turned a double play back in the first. They're 91st overall. They have turned 100, but 91 on the ground. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Now Freddie is a Southern California kid. But there's the pressure of going back home, family, friends, all those things too.
Well, I think that he's handled it pretty well. Having another all-star year.
And the 1-2 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So as Jim mentioned, looking at a rehab assignment for Yachty later this month and then back in early August, and that would give, as long as both are healthy, Waino and Yachty a good chance to break that battery mark. All-time starts between those two together. The 2-2 lined and a base hit into the gap in left center, and Turner will score easily from first, and Freddie Freeman on his way to second base with an RBI double, and the Dodgers get on the board to make it 3-1. And Freeman is 2 for 2.
Not going to square one up much more than Freddie Freeman does on this one. Freddie sees the ball and drives the ball away so well, and that's where this pitch is. It's away, it's elevated enough. 94 coming in, 107 leaving. Just barely over the glove of Nolan Arenado and ends up all the way to the wall.
And the batter is Will Smith. Walked back in the first inning. Runner at second, Freeman. 3-1 our score. And Smith gets underneath it, and a fly ball lifted to Corey Dickerson. Under it to make the catch. While we have a moment, quick word from Jack in the Box.
My $5.99 double bacon cheesy jack combo with double the bacon and double the cheese. Order on the Jack app today.
Justin Turner struck out swinging in the first inning with 2 runners on. If you just joined us and you're wondering, well, where is Matthew Liberatore, who's scheduled to start? Cardinals decided to go with a bullpen start, if you will. And so Jordan Hicks went an inning and a third, and now it's Oviedo. As we say that, Matthew Liberatore begins to get loose in the St. Louis bullpen.
I kind of like the creativity here today from Ollie Marmol and the staff. I mean, you know how good this lineup can be for the Dodgers. They're very right-handed heavy in the lineup today. Bench all full of lefties.
Good pitch.
Really good pitch. I thought it set him up very well. Hicks did a good job. Oviedo's come in. Offense is struck early against Mitch White.
And that'll be tapped foul. So 2 outs, runner at second. Nothing in 2 the count. And the next to Justin Turner. 0-2 pitch. Will foul again. Turner on an 8-game hitting streak at the start of play. 467 the average in the 8 games. Couple of home runs. He has scored 5 runs and driven in 5. Runner at second, Freddie Freeman. Cardinals in their half of the third will have Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Gorman coming up. Long look by Oviedo, now finally set. And the 0-2. With the National League wild card and the American League wild card, it is all bunched up. So right now, Atlanta, San Diego, the Phillies, and Cardinals tied going into play tonight. The Giants are only 2 games back, but they've only won 6 times in their last 21 games.
It's been a struggle for them.
And the Marlins are 4 back. In the American League wild card, you have Boston, Tampa Bay, and then Seattle and Toronto tied. Cleveland game and a half back, and Baltimore is only 2 out, and they're trying to win their 9th straight for the first time since 1999.
It really just makes you wonder, though, with all of these teams bunched up, what this trade deadline is going to look like. Because all these teams feel like that they're in it, and a lot of these teams that you mentioned have pieces that the legit contenders want. But how can you trade off these pieces, especially if you're a club that is not a perennial playoff team, and it means the world to just get into the playoffs somehow, some way.
And that is pulled foul. Texas, by the way, 3.5 out. So if you look at the National League and the American League wild cards, Texas 3.5, Marlins are 4 back, so they'd be at the bottom. That's 14 different teams all bunched together with a chance to go to postseason play, and that's not even talking about your division leaders.
Well, regardless of the trade deadline, how that shakes out, it's entertaining for baseball. All these teams down the stretch that end up being in it, all these races that mean so much. You manage differently down the stretch. I think you learn a lot more about some of the players you have on your team when they're playing in games like that late. I think it's going to work out well with the extra wild card.
No doubt. This would be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up right here. And the 3-2. Really good at bat there by Turner. So the Dodgers have received 4 walks, first by Oviedo, 3 by Hicks, and the batter will be Trace Thompson. And Thompson rounded out to short, and here comes Mike Maddox. I think it's going to be fascinating how Ollie and Mike try to navigate through this game in the lineup too.
Yeah, try to end up piecing it together for Matthew Liberatore. The lineup that they have in there currently that the Dodgers do, I mean, that's the one that they said wanted against the lefty. So we'll see what he's able to do with it. For Johan Oviedo and Turner in that at-bat, as you mentioned, very good at-bat by Turner. Ended up walking on 10 pitches. A little disappointing at-bat for Johan Oviedo. He had him 0-2, and I feel like he ended up just getting a little bit too cute with him.
Yeah. Sunday, July 17th, that is this weekend. Joey Votto and the Reds will be here. Take home the Nolan Arenado Growth Chart presented by Missouri Farmers Care. Come early for free frozen treats in the Ford Plaza thanks to Prairie Farms. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Thompson, last 7 games with a home run, 3 doubles, walked 3 times. And 2 runners on here for LA. First pitch to him is a ball. Five for 13 with runners in scoring position. And here's a guy that has bounced around with Oakland, the White Sox, saw him with the Cubs, Padres for 6 games this year. And this is his 2nd time with the LA Dodgers. And yes, he is the brother of Klay Thompson, who just won his 4th NBA championship.
Pretty talented family.
I'd say so. And the 1-0. Nearly a wild pitch. 2 balls, no strikes.
We're seeing Johan Oviedo in a couple of these fastballs. You saw one of those to Turner as well, just trying to throw it through the wall, really getting rotational sideways around the baseball instead of free and easy, letting the arm work. His fastball plays in the zone. You throw a good fastball away right here.
The 2-0.
Good slider.
Yep. But the ability to throw that on 2-0, that's impressive.
It is. It is, and it just shows the confidence that he has in himself and in that pitch.
2-2 with 2 outs, 2 on, and a 2-run St. Louis lead.
Trace Thompson thinking the same thing. He's 2-0. Slider, the call goes against him at the bottom of the zone. He figures maybe he's coming back with a fastball and swings right through one. Another good slider.
Off the end of the bat, hit up the first base line, foul. So it stays 2-2. First of 3 between these two teams. Tomorrow night, 6:45, Thursday at 6:15. Reminder, 6:15 on Thursday. Tomorrow night, Wainwright, Gonsolin, Dakota Hudson, who had 6 scoreless over the weekend against the lefty Tyler Anderson in Game 3, and then we'll welcome the Reds to town.
Wainwright Gonsolin should be a really good one. Tony Gonsolin, first-time All-Star, having a monster year.
2-2 is high in the air. Out to Corey Dickerson. Oviedo will strand a pair. RBI double hit by Freddie Freeman to score Turner to get the Dodgers on the board, and it's 3-1. By Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals, and by Car Shield. Car Shield cars go farther. The Stan the Man statue just outside the ballpark. And now it is Paul Goldschmidt. Struck out his first time up. And that drops in for a strike.
Pretty good bender right there.
Yep.
We're starting to see home plate umpire Will Little calling that breaking ball just under the zone, something that we'd like to see Cardinals pitchers be able to take advantage of.
And the 0-1. 0-2. Goldie here, then Arenado and Gorman. The 0-2 pitch. And Goldie lifts it high in the air out to right field. Mookie Betts there to make the catch. And the first out. Cardinals host the Reds Friday, and that night 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a specially designed all-over print Cardinals hat, courtesy of Brown & Crouppen. Dress to impress, the exclusive Cardinals hat featuring vintage Cardinal logos. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. That's also our military night, and there's a theme ticket involved with that as well. Get your favorite branch of the military Cardinal cap. That'll be this Friday.
Dan, I keep seeing some of these great promotions and can't help but wonder if you pick me up some of those Waino and Yachty socks.
I did do it.
Yes.
I put them in the wash specifically for you.
You washed them?
Well, I wore them. Popped up. Foul territory and the catch made. Yeah.
So we're sharing these socks? Is that what's...
No, I just wanted to make sure they fit, they were comfortable and wearable, and I gave it my seal of approval. And I felt, well, Christmas is around the corner, and it'll be an early present for you.
It almost sounds like you're regifting them, though. That ends up being the thing with that once you've worn them.
Well, you can look at it any way you want. You're selfish.
Did they not fit you?
No, they were perfect, actually. But I care so much about you and your wardrobe and making sure you look good for the Fredberg show. And I personally think that you need to wear that with shorts, your jersey, and pull the socks up to about knee high.
Don't threaten me with a good time. You know my style.
The 0-1. See you mowing the lawn just like that, Brad.
Yeah.
It's a good look for you.
It is. It is for sure. I've got that whole suburban dad thing down.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's something.
It's a 1-1 pitch to Nolan Gorman. Was robbed his first time up and pulls that foul. But we have all kinds of promotions all summer long. Every single night it seems like there's something going on here at the ballpark to have a little fun with. 60 theme nights, 40 gate giveaways. So that's an added value for fans. And the 1-2 hit out of play. Just talking with Joe Strom and others in our ticket office, but 88% of the games have tickets available for $10 or less. 88%.
Well, we're going to see, especially down the stretch. I know you were talking about this in the ball game yesterday with Jimmy. You're going to get a chance to watch history down the stretch.
Nolan Gorman with a drive into right center. Gone. Home run. Nolan Gorman, his 8th of the year. It's a 4-1 St. Louis lead.
Well, while you watch history down the stretch, you can get a glimpse of the future right here. Nolan Gorman goes down and gets a slider, drops the head, and this thing flies out of the ballpark.
.417 feet.
That is a pretty stroke right there from Nolan Gorman.
And here is Albert Pujols with number 685 back in the second. 2 outs, nobody on. And a ball in the dirt outside. Albert Pujols, watch him pull the hands in.
Wow. It's a sinker in off the plate. I mean, that is a ball that is very difficult to be able to keep fair. He's done it over the years. He's going to be in the next Nelly video, chances are.
Absolutely.
Should be. And not just a hype man either. I really think that he should have some sort of a performing role.
I agree. Or Nelly needs to start, you know, coming up with some new tunes with Albert in there.
Oh, no. I mean, he's got such a wide range already. I think Albert can fit right into anything.
2-1.
That's that hack right there.
Albert is now homered off all 3 former teams. Did it against the Angels, the Cardinals, and the Dodgers. And the 2-1. Back in 2016, he got Seth Maness out in L.A. Last year at Dodger Stadium, he got Reed Detmers, and tonight he gets Mitch White of L.A. And a 3-1 pitch to Albert Pujols. Three and 2.
A pretty good spot right there. 93 right on the corner.
The shift on the left side of the infield. 3-2 inside, and the second time that Albert is on base in this ball game. Mitch White, that's his first walk issued, and now Juan Yepez snapped it 0 for 18 with a base hit to left, and then eventually came around to score on a wild pitch. Very short lead with Albert at first and a shift on the left side. And Yepez pops it up. Freddie Freeman in foul territory will make the catch, but a home run hit by Nolan Gorman, his 8th of the season. He's driven in 21 into right center. Nolan Gorman with home run number 8, and it's 4-1 St. Louis. Military Appreciation Night is coming up this Friday. We talked about it, but the special theme ticket, get the branch of the military with the cap that you'd like, and come on out to the ballpark. Cardinals.com/theme. Then the Cincinnati Reds will be in town. Chevy call to the pen will take us to Matthew Liberator, and he was scheduled to make the start tonight. Cardinals went with the bullpen start in the first pitch. A strike to Hanser Alberto.
Pretty nice way to start right there with a nasty breaking ball that he spots up down and on the corner.
Up and in. Alberto bounced back to Jordan Hicks. Then we saw Oviedo take over. And a high chopper foul.
Dan, I thought it was a pretty big outing for Matthew Liberatore last time out against the Braves. He ended up going only 4 innings in that ball game, but that 4th inning, he got himself out of a jam that it seemed very pivotal. I mean, you got runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. He got a strikeout, a couple of ground balls, ended up staying there. Ollie decided to go with the bullpen in a game that the Cardinals ultimately won.
I thought it was huge.
It's a big momentum shifter for a player, you know, and that was coming on the heels of a very rough start against the Phillies.
I know you feel that his fastball can play, and you'd like to see maybe a little bit more of that.
I would. I know how good his breaking ball can be, but I think it's better when he throws his fastball.
And yanked foul near the Dodger dugout.
I think that there's that confidence factor in that. You know, you think about a guy that has dominated every step along the way, and that has been the life of Matthew Liberatore. I mean, he's a huge lefty, throws hard. You can continue to do that at the big league level.
And a ground ball. Nolan Arenado. First out. You feel if you're Ollie, much better. Obvious statement here with a 4-1 lead as opposed to scoreless and having Liberatore start. Now you get him in, you've got a little cushion. It's just a little easier to do this.
Yeah, you know what? It takes a little pressure off him as well. Now, This is a different animal for Matthew Liberatore. He's used to being a starter. He's never come out of the bullpen at the big league level, and I'm sure he hasn't been asked to do it much in the minor leagues. So the routine changes a little bit. But still figure out different ways to get yourself warm. There's no more long toss on the field in that routine, but you do all your work beforehand, get stretched out, do all your things behind the scenes, and get firing out in the bullpen.
Bellinger walked his first time up on the ground. Nolan Gorman, Liberatore's best buddy, puts him away. Cody Bellinger hitting under 200 against the lefties this season. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And it brings in the catcher, Austin Barnes. Phil Nichols is roaming around with that wireless camera. Section 149. You never know where Phil is going to pop up.
Phil gets his steps in on a given day.
Big time.
I mean, he's everywhere in this ballpark.
And 2 outs. First pitch, a strike to Barnes.
I like it.
Phil Nichols is also a former member of our military, served our country, and I know that Friday will be a very important night for him. Arenado caps off the 10-pitch inning for the lefty Matthew Liberatore. 4-1. The Bounty quick stats and a look at the Dodgers under Dave Roberts since 2016, and Dave has done a tremendous job with 6 playoff appearances, World Series appearances. He's got 3, 5 NL West titles, and they won the 2020 World Series. Now, let's be honest about it. He's been given a great lineup, pitching staff, whatnot, but still, you're the guy that's got to keep it all together, so you deserve credit.
Well, you do, and sometimes it is difficult to manage huge personalities and get these big contracts, get a lot of big stars in there. Look, any manager will take it. You give me this treasure trove of players, but you have to figure out how to put them in the right position to succeed. You got to communicate with your guys as well.
And a pitch off the plate to Corey Dickerson, double to deep center over Cody Bellinger. Wound up taking a hop over the wall, ground rule double, and then he would score on the base hit by Kisner. And the 1-0 pitch to Dickerson. That's fair inside the third base line. Down into the left field corner. Dickerson racing to second base, standing up with a double. He's got 2 doubles tonight. And can you imagine if he can get hot
what this lineup may look like.
Yes, I can. And we're starting to see a little bit of it right now. A fastball that's elevated, goes the other way, lets it travel. We saw him hit a breaking ball to dead center field in his first at-bat for a ground rule double, utilizing the whole field. There's been such a need here recently for somebody else to step up. Dickerson ends up coming off of the IL. He's just been one of those guys. And Kisner here, another guy who's taken advantage of things recently.
Picked up a RBI single to center. And he is 1 for 1 tonight. And the first pitch to him. Fouled back. A lot of room on that right side is Alberto, the second baseman, trying to keep Dickerson close to the bag at second following his leadoff double. The 20th time in his career that he's had multi-double game. Career high is 3, did it twice, 2016 and 19. Really enjoyed his visit with the Cat. Pretty open and honest, and his post-game comments last night saying, hey, I was frustrated, but maybe the best thing was having the injury and kind of a chance to regroup mentally and physically. As Kisner pops it foul out of play. Sometimes that's what you need.
No, for sure it is. And look, there's only one way to change the situation that you're in. It's when you are given an opportunity to go out there and succeed, you have to do it. And that's exactly what he's been doing here since he's returned from the IL. You got to appreciate this. This is a guy that's been in the big leagues a long time. He has had highs and he has had lows, but it's you come into a new organization, you want to go out and succeed. You sign a deal as a free agent, and it's not there. There's a lot of pressure you put on yourself.
Hey, Cat, nice visit with Corey Dickerson.
Thanks, Danny. He says he has a new outlook since coming off the IL. He said, I've come to realize I have to find other ways to contribute. I can help my teammates. I can do less and still have an impact. He said, I don't look at it as any kind of role this time around. I just want to prepare and be ready to compete. Danny, new outlook, and he's hitting.
He is, and the Cardinals, as Brad mentioned, desperately need others to step up. I mean, to expect Goldie to be on the tear that he's been on in this first half might be asking too much. Arenado, player of the month, first month, then cooled off. It's tough to do it 6 consecutive months.
Oh, no, I still expect it.
Oh, sure. Little flare into right. Betts won't get there. It's a fair ball. Dickerson read it perfectly. He will score. Just like last night, a little bloop into right field. And a smile from Andrew Kisner. He's 2 for 2 and is driven in 2.
Pretty good slider by Mitch White. It's off the plate. It's down. But Andrew Kisner just able to stay with it. And then, as you mentioned, Dan, very good job. Dickerson knows exactly where Mookie Betts is playing out there in right field. Knows off the bat there's no chance he's going to be able to get to this ball.
So again, the bottom of this lineup coming through again. Double play ball off the bat of Tommy Edman for 6-3 with the double play. So 6, 7, 8, and 9. They have been on base 7 times in this game.
Goes back to the depth we've been talking about all year. Who's going to end up stepping up and joking around about Goldie and Arenado and how you expect that. I expect that for 6 months because we've seen them. We've seen how great these guys can be. But those two guys solely are not going to be able to carry your offense. You need more from a little bit of everybody, and especially in tough times.
By the way, the original error back in the second on a ball off the bat of Tommy Edman has now been changed. And that is a base hit. So Edman now 1 for 3. And here's Carlson 0 for 2. Grounded out to third and grounded out to short. So the Cardinals, with runners in scoring position, are now 6 for their last 7. That's big.
That is stark contrast from what we saw on this recent road trip. I mean, the Cardinals struggled mightily with runners in scoring position. It seemed like they would get a couple of hits. They would get guys on, but they would never be able to get that big knock.
And the 2-0 pitch. 2-1.
You know what? I'm all right with him getting that call at the bottom of the zone right now, because the thought is he might go right back there. Dylan Carlson, a really good low ball hitter. He gets that fastball down like that, he could stroke that thing in the gap easy, or maybe even in the seats.
And the 2-1 pitch, shift on the right side, outside, and it's 3-1. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start for the Cardinals here. Leading the ball game 5-1, and it's been Hicks, Oviedo, and Liberatore getting through the first 4 innings. 3-1. Every once in a while you'll see Dylan just come out of his shoes on a pitch like that.
Yeah, unfortunately that's just a pitch he doesn't handle well. That fastball at the top of the strike zone. He's got that good stroke, that left-handed stroke where he hits the ball down really well. Struggles at the top.
3-2, and it's off the plate in a walk. Second walk issued by Mitch White, and it brings in Goldie, who is 0 for 2. Albert is homered tonight, number 685, and Goldie looking for number 300. Shift on the left side. Goldschmidt tonight struck out swinging in the first and fly to right. So for his last 10, just 2 for 14, and no extra base hits on the homestand. And the first pitch to him. Cardinals now with, including tonight, 5 home runs in the last 4 games. They had 2 in the previous 7. They went 1-6.
When you look at the game nowadays, Dan, you just need it, don't you? I mean, you need the long ball. I know that we talk about stringing together hits and playing more small ball. We talked about Dylan Carlson yesterday dropping down that bunt, but in 2022 in the game of baseball, if you're not hitting some home runs, if you don't have that ability in your lineup, you're not going to win.
Yeah. Here's an 0-1 pitch with a shift on the infield left side, so puts it on the ground. Typically it's going to be hit into that shift, and yet you look at the outfield. Bellinger, by the way, fairly shallow, but shades him to right. And if you look at the hits this year, many of those, the extra bases, the doubles going to right center. And the 0-1 pitch. Goldie to right field. Betts hustling after it, is able to cut it off. And stopping at third, Carlson. If he doesn't get to that, he scores.
Yeah, he does for sure. And right on your cue, talking about the fact that he drives the ball that way so well. This is a slider and ends up almost middle, and still able to let it travel and drive it that way. That's the stroke of Paul Goldschmidt right there. That's when he's at his best.
So runners at first and third. Home half of the fourth. 2 outs, and here is Arenado. He's grounded out to second, popped out to the third baseman. So White has allowed a career high 9 hits. Previous high was 6. Pitch to Nolan Arenado. Ooh, fouled back.
They're ready for it. Ready for the fastball in the zone. We talked about the key to the game earlier. Be selective. I feel like the Cardinals have done a good job of not chasing the pitches that he's trying to get you to nibble on. Really being aggressive within the strike zone. And this is a guy that can hit the fastball as well as anybody. A couple of Dodgers here on that list, but Nolan Arenado tops in the NL.
353. And the 0-1 pitch. Nolan, a base hit into center. 6-1 Cardinals. Brings in Dylan Carlson. Nolan Arenado with RBI number 56.
We'll show you the curveball graphic later. He hits those ones pretty well, too. This one down under the zone, and look, the guy hits a little bit of everything. Sees it up out of the hand, too. That's the thing. You see the little hump in that pitch, and he's able to recognize it, see it down, keeps the head down, and drive it right back up the middle.
So now this little rally being done with 2 outs after Edman had grounded into the double play. Walk issued to Carlson. Goldschmidt base hit to right. And Arenado 2-out single to center and an RBI. Gorman into right. And the catch made by Mookie Betts. Cardinals will strand a pair. Pick up 2 more. They've got 10 hits and a 6-1 lead. Cardinal fans can compete head-to-head with Adam Wainwright, Tommy Edman, and more in the Big League Impact Fantasy Football League. Benefits St. Louis Public Schools Foundation, 5 Oaks Farm, and Cardinals Care. For more information, visit bigleagueimpact.org. Here's Mookie Betts. And the 1-0 pitch to Betts. He's getting an earful from St. Louis native Nelly, who's in the front row, and Mookie Betts a couple of times has stepped out, kind of looking at Nelly, laughing. Nelly laughing back at him. And it's 1-2.
I'll tell you what, I'm loving the way that Matthew Liberatore is using his fastball right now. Really competing with it. We've seen it 95, 96. I feel like there's better break on his curveball today as well.
And the 1-2 fouled back. And Nelly blaring on the loudspeakers, people dancing in the seats, and then they shoot back to Nelly on the video board, and he's having fun with the fans, so it's a good night to be here.
Pretty good ambassador. Everybody gets pumped up when they see Nelly. Slider right there trying to tie up Mookie Betts inside.
And a fly ball out to right field. Drops in for a hit. Yepes playing very deep in right too.
He was playing deep, and it was a broken bat. 95-mile-an-hour fastball down and away. Really good spot. Nelly's letting Mookie Betts know about it.
Albert Pujols, after he hit his home run. Not often do you see a player go over to a fan and give him a high five, but when it's Nelly, you do that.
Well, not just a fan.
That's right.
Bit of an icon.
I'd say that too.
And as we said before, Albert is probably lobbying to get in the next video, which I think is very doable.
I think if you're Nelly, you have to do it.
Why wouldn't you?
And the 0-1. You want to lobby for a title of a song, or do you have any? I know you're a musician, so as we've talked about.
Well, yeah, well, as we've talked about, I'm still dabbling with the guitar. I can't play a whole song. We're getting there. I could probably play the hook though on like a Nelly.
Play what?
The hook on a Nelly Albert collab, you know, the hook. Really catchy part in the middle that everybody knows. I could probably play that.
How's that go?
I'm not sure yet. Really haven't sat down and thought about it. You just give me a little bit of time. I'll come up with something.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll bring it to Nelly's people.
Are you representing yourself?
Yeah, I think it's safer that way in this industry that I don't know at all.
Okay. 3-1 pitch. In the air down the left field line. It is hooking and gone. Trey Turner with a long home run. And a 2-run blast His 12th of the year. He's got 2 hits tonight, and it cuts a lead to 6-3.
Well, we showed you earlier, Albert Pujols in this game, he was able to take a sinker from Mitch White, keep it fair. This is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's down, it's in off the plate. And Trey Turner, man, his hands are just so fast, able to keep that one fair.
And here is Freddie Freeman. Little bouncer on the right side. That's Tommy Edman, the shortstop, making that play. 403 feet, 104 off the bat of Trey Turner. First time that Freeman has been retired. He's 2 for 3. Smith has walked and also flied out to left with a runner at second back in the 3rd inning.
I like the response, though, by Matthew Liberatore. Ends up giving up the home run. What does he do? He comes back. Freddie Freeman, former MVP, throws him a 96-mile-an-hour fastball and gets him to roll it over.
And the first pitch is a swing and a foul ball by Will Smith. So you have that little extra shoulder pad there, if you will, but still it doesn't feel good.
I still wonder how you get to the point where you just say, yeah, no, I'd like to catch.
Yeah.
That sounds, just sign me up. I'd like to do that.
I remember I told Tim McCarver I caught at fantasy camp, and he said, what's the problem with you? I said, well, what do you mean? He said, you don't ever sign up to actually want to do that. And he was serious.
It just falls to you.
Yeah. I mean, what? A ball and a strike with 1 out and nobody on. That's yanked foul. Remember, we talked about it earlier, Brad. The Dodgers 25 comeback wins. They're a season best 27 games above 500. And actually, in this stretch of baseball right now, it's better than last year's club, which won 106 games.
Which bought them 2nd place.
That's right.
Tough division last year.
And a base hit. Carlson gets it back in, and Smith held to a single.
Tell you what, the Dodgers found themselves a good one in former 1st rounder Will Smith. Goes the other way with the breaking ball. Just waits for it.
Sees it out of the hand. Doesn't try to pull it. Doesn't get too big. Short stroke.
Here's Justin Turner. All of a sudden, one swing, and you're talking about the Dodgers being right back in it. Cardinals thinking double play. I got a big birthday wish I got to send out. I know this guy pretty well. His name is Luke McLaughlin. One of my best buddies, also happens to be my son, and I love him. Happy birthday, Luke.
Happy birthday, Luke.
How old is Luke now?
17.
Oh, my.
I have a picture at the old ballpark with the arches of Busch Stadium behind me, and he's about maybe from the edge of my fingertips to my elbow big, holding him.
Does it feel like it's been 17 years?
No. So enjoy every minute. And I'm sure every other parent out there knows exactly what I'm saying. Happy birthday, Luke. I love you, buddy. 2 balls and 1 strike. Check swing, and he went 2-2. You talked about it, Brad, that the Dodgers just finished 20 games in 20 days. Really a grueling stretch for them. Well, they go 16-4. No big deal.
That's fine. They got a lot of depth. They're a really good ball club.
The 2-2 on their bench. Zach
McKinstry, Gavin Lux, Max Muncy, and Jake Lamb, an all left-handed bench tonight for LA.
Been a bit of a struggle this year for Max Muncy, hasn't it?
Yep. And the 3-2 pitch. Cubs led 5-0 and then 8-3 against the Dodgers on Sunday. Dodgers come back and win it 11-9. So they've got firepower, they've got length to their lineup. That's what makes them there's a lot of reasons, but they are a very, very dangerous team.
Yeah, well, that's why it makes it important for the Cardinals to continue to pour on in this ball game. Can't feel good just about 6 runs.
And the 3-2 is hit high in the air out to left center. Carlson under it. And he'll make the catch. Smith back to the bag at first. Quick word from St. Louis Children's.
St. Louis Children's Hospital, the only place where Washington University physicians have gathered from across the globe, discovering and developing life-changing treatments for kids.
So 2 outs and a runner at first. Trace Thompson grounded out to short, flied out to left with 2 runners on. Matthew Liberatore came in the 4th inning in relief of Oviedo, who relieved Jordan Hicks. Liberatore had a 10-pitch 4th inning. The 5th started with a base hit to right by Betts, 2-run homer. Turner, Freeman grounded out. Smith the base hit. Turner flied out, and that's fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 pulled foul into the camera well there in the dugout area of the LA Dodgers. Talked about how time flies. For me, it's hard to believe this is already game number 90, and we're approaching now the All-Star break already.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. All-Star break. You got Sunday against the Reds. Guys will have a couple of days to regroup, get them some much needed rest for this team, get healthy, and hopefully get some more signs of that health beforehand. I know Jim Hayes was talking about O'Neill, Matz.
Hold on, I got to interrupt you.
Yeah.
We almost had a historic moment here at the ballpark. I have never seen to our right or our left or our booth a ball make it into the booth, and that was very close to Polo and Benji directly to our right, kind of rattled around, and they almost had a souvenir. That was a historic moment here at Busch Stadium 3, and here on July 12th, I like to document such moments.
You write that on your scorecard, don't you?
No, I just keep it. It's all memory.
Why'd you just write it down?
I just wrote down I interrupted Brad on that one. Backhanded Arenado. Look at this. Love it. Nolan Arenado, California native. Fans love it too. Foul territory and makes it look so easy. And the first time a home run, number 685. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And for Albert, that was home run number 6 this year. And a curtain call. High five with Nelly. Place going nuts here at Busch. And a shift on the left side of the infield. Cardinals with a lead of 6-3. They've out hit the Dodgers 10-6. The Kia player profile, the highest OPS, on base plus slug against the Dodgers.
Mize, Hornsby, Stan, Medwick, Albert.
It's a whole lot of Hall of Famers.
Wow. And the 0-1 inside. Albert has 20 or more home runs against 18 different teams. 10 or more against 25.
I mean, basically, it's a collective groan when Albert comes to your town.
There you go. I noticed when he got a double in Atlanta, and I was doing the game on radio, he picked up a double, and that's when I started to notice his swing. It just was better swings. Lefty, righty, didn't matter. It was just a little quicker with the foot down, hands in a little bit. Just everything was right.
We were starting to see a little bit Albert getting caught out in front. And
yes.
Way over his front side.
And I'm sure it's a byproduct, too, of playing a little bit more. Can't be easy when you've, for 2 decades, been an everyday player, basically.
Yeah. Well, and there's also a balance of that, too, right? There's also some rest you're going to have to build in at 42 years old. So you find out exactly what works for you. And I'm sure that he's still fine-tuning his routine for the playing time that he gets.
Check swing, and he went. Strikeout of Pujols. And strikeout number 2 for Mitch White. 7, 8, 9 hitters, the BJC Healthcare difference makers. The last 3 games, 12 for 25. That's some damage there.
It is some big time damage, and it's been uplifting for this ball club because you look at the rest of the offense. It's not like the top of the order has really been getting it done for you in the last couple of games.
And a strike on the inside corner to Juan Yepez. Snapped it over 18 with a base hit to left. Came around to score on a wild pitch and popped out to Freeman in foul territory back in the 3rd. One ball and 1 strike. Outfield and infield playing him to pull. 1-2. Brewers against Minnesota tonight. They're in the bottom of 5 and a 5-2 lead for Milwaukee. That was Jason Alexander going against Josh Winder.
Well, pitch count getting up here a little bit for Mitch White. Really likes his slider with 2 strikes. Could back one up here. You know that's dangerous against Juan Yepez. Anything on that inner half.
Phil Bickford, a right-hander, starts to throw in the bullpen for LA. And a strikeout of Yepez. Back-to-back Ks.
Gets the slider, doesn't back it up. This one starts on the corner, ends up off the plate. Juan Yepez can't stop himself. It's a good look at how tight that slider is from Mitch White. Good rotation.
Here's Corey Dickerson, couple of hits tonight, 2 doubles, ground rule double to center over the outstretched glove of Cody Bellinger, and then inside the 3rd base line as he just slapped it the other way. And big shift here, so he could do the same thing. Here's a 1-0. The umpire, before he swung, was out of the area. I mean, he gets out of the way in a hurry here. Oh, and that's why. Took it on the shin.
Yeah, I'd be getting out of there, too.
Just certain areas, you're the umpire, you're the catcher, you're going to be exposed. And the 1-1.
Phillies are trailing in their game against Toronto 4-3. That's in the 8th. That concerns the Cardinals with the wild card. Rob Thompson, the first Canadian to manage in Canada tonight. Popped up. Freeman over.
And makes the catch. We head to the 6th. 6-3. Rehab start number 4 for Steven Matz as Memphis is at Nashville tonight. Matz is done for the night. 4 1/3 scoreless innings for Steven. 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 Ks on the night. 81 pitches for Matz. 51 were strikes. Danny, Ollie Marmol says the plan was after tonight's outing for Matz to rejoin the Cards rotation. Cards can use him.
They could, and so if you think about it, it could be Sunday that he would be potentially in the rotation for St. Louis. We'll see. Here's Alberto, who is 0 for 2. He was the first man that Liberatore saw back in the 4th. Hicks inning at 2/3. Oviedo came in with 1 on and 2 outs. Back in the 2nd, he went an inning and a 1/3. Liberatore's been pitching since the 4th. That's good news. Get ready for that stretch run.
It's great news. It really is. And I would love to be able to see him Sunday against Cincinnati just before the All-Star break. Figure out what you've got, how you can set up your rotation for the second half.
And a fly ball out to right center. On the move, it's Dylan Carlson. Over. Can't get there. Ground rule double. So ground rule double into right center. And it brings in Bellinger.
The ball from a right-handed hitter just tails away. We've seen Dylan Carlson make some absolute web gems in center field, ranging into the gaps, not able to track that one down.
Junior Fernandez getting loose in the bullpen for St. Louis. What do you think? Do you get Liberatore against a lefty and then go to Fernandez? I guess we're going to find out. Goldie takes it himself, steps on the bag, or does Liberatore stay in this game with a 3-run lead? We'll see. A beautiful night here in downtown St. Louis. Busch Stadium, the scene with Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin, Jim Hayes as well. And glad you're with us on Bally Sports Midwest. And so Ollie is going to go get Liberatore and bring in Junior Fernandez, more than likely here. And he has made the move. We step aside. Junior will be the 4th pitcher for St. Louis.
Gonsolin against Adam Wainwright will come your way at 6, and then Tyler Anderson, the lefty, against Dakota Hudson. That'll be on Thursday night. That's our Budweiser What's on Tap. Our Chevy call to the pen takes us to Junior Fernandez. Austin Barnes at the plate with a runner at 3rd. That's Alberto. Fernandez using that sinker, and man, has it made a difference.
Yeah, well, and he's using that strike zone too. This is a guy that's just been confident pitching within it. There's that sinker you mentioned.
Run will score, cuts the lead to 6-4, and there's 2 away. So Barnes brings in Alberto. 6-4 now the lead.
Oh, that's a bowling ball sinker. I think just coming in there heavy.
And the top of the lineup, 4th time tonight, Mookie Betts. He has walked, struck out, and singled to right and scored back in the 5th. Closes the book on Matthew Liberatore. Gives up 3 runs in 2 1/3.
Gonna need that one.
Definitely. So 2 1/3 for Matthew. 3 runs, 4 hits, no strikeouts, no walks. Gave up the 2-run homer to Trey Turner. And a ground ball to Arenado.
Nolan Arenado makes that play look easy, Dan. That eats up a lot of guys.
No doubt. Midway through 6, 6-4. By Budweiser, this Bud's for you. And only St. Louis Children's, Missouri's #1 pediatric hospital. Kisner 2 for 2 tonight. Leads it off in the home half of the 6th. Cardinals with a lead of 6-4. And a new pitcher. The fastball. Phil Bickford. Right-hander, 31st appearance. Pitched a couple of days ago against the Cubs, win an inning. Gave up a home run. And also earned the first win of his season. Chevy called to the pen. Here's the 0-1. Kisner puts it on the ground to third baseman Justin Turner. And the first out. Well, the Dodgers are winning the BJC healthcare injury report, and they're doing it without some of their best. Walker Buehler, Daniel Hudson, Dustin May, Blake Trinan. These are all big pieces for them.
Yeah, 2 huge pieces in your rotation. Walker Buehler, one of the best right-handed pitchers in the game. 2 big pieces in your bullpen. Yet you still look at what this Dodgers team is doing. Coming into action 56-29. Their starting pitchers have a 2.72 ERA. The relievers with the 3.31. Those are both first and second in the league. So I'd say they're still doing all right. That guy right in the middle, Tony Gonsolin, you'll see him on the mound tomorrow. First-time All-Star. He's had something to do with this.
There's Tommy Edman up for the 4th time. 1 for 3. And the 1-0. So the starter, Mitch White, 5 innings. 6 runs on 10 hits. Struck out 3, walked 2, and gave up a pair of home runs to Albert Pujols and Nolan Gorman. Fouled back.
Well, there's a lot of fastballs from Phil Bickford against the lefties. He's got the slider, but generally coming right at you with the heater.
And a 1-2 pitch. Crowd tonight 37,150. 37150.
It's a pretty night to be at the ballpark too. Not too hot. Cardinals offense came out rolling.
An Albert home run always is
That'll
nice
do
to
it.
see.
That'll do it, won't it?
2-2. Tommy Edman lifts a fly ball to left fielder Trace Thompson. And that'll be out number 2. How about a quick word from Great Southern Bird?
Want to deposit your birthday check right from your phone? Don't waste your wish. You can send money, check your balance, and yes, take care of those checks in a snap. All with the Great Southern mobile app.
2 outs and Carlson. And Carlson on the first pitch. It's a fly ball out to shallow left center. Bellinger with the catch. And Bickford a 1-2-3. We head to the 7th. Cardinals on top. The show with baseball's 2 biggest events back to back. You've got the Home Run Derby as well as the All-Star Game. Back to back next week. Albert will be there in both. big inning here. You got Turner, Freeman, and Smith in the 7th. Someone catches Kisner awkwardly. I think it hit the bat, and Turner's trying to sell it as if it hit him.
I got a feeling if it hit him, it would have hurt a little bit more than
exactly
he is putting on here.
Oh, yeah, that's a foul ball, but maybe he's saying catcher's interference. That's what he's saying.
Well, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yep.
I apologize for questioning his acting skills.
Oh, I think you're right on it, though, Brad.
I mean, it's basically in Hollywood. I'm sure he's got good acting skills.
Manager can challenge, by the way, catcher's interference. Now the question would be, did it hit the bat before the glove, maybe?
Certainly didn't look like it from that angle.
Imagine they'd want to challenge, but we'll see.
The call on the field is foul ball and no catcher's interference. Los Angeles has challenged both rulings.
Well, I appreciate that Dan Iasonia explains that to all of us here at the ballpark and all of you at home.
Yeah, oftentimes, at least here on television, here we show you different angles, show you the potential of the catcher's interference in the ballpark. You really don't know until they end up playing you a couple of replays. So I do like that added addition. I think it really has helped out the product, Dan, of miking up some of these umpires. And some do a better job than others of explaining things. But it really does help. I'll tell you, too, the more I end up looking at this, the more it just looks like a bang-bang. I mean, this is a pretty close play right here. Is it glove first? Is it ball? Boy,
I'd say it's ball first, then glove. I could be wrong. I mean, it's almost at the same time.
After review, there was catcher's interference. The call on the field is overturned. The batter is awarded first base. Los Angeles retains their challenge.
And you'll get the tying run now coming to the plate. Freddie Freeman. To be an error on Kisner is second. And now it is Freddie Freeman. And Freeman has single to left, double to left center. Picked up a run batted in and grounded out. And a swing and a miss. So only the Yankees with more comeback wins than the Dodgers. They have something in common. They're winning and winning a lot. A 1 pitch.
It was funny, the first two teams on that graphic, not surprising. Yankees, Dodgers. The next two, Diamondbacks, Rockies.
Yeah.
Couple of ballparks where the ball flies. Guess you just never know.
Well, the Dodgers and Yankees spend the most money. And I think you could make a case they collect the most talent. And in doing so, they're going to win a lot of games. And they won one. There it is. This season, Yankees highest in the AL, and the Dodgers over $280 million their payroll.
You know, they say money doesn't buy happiness, but
I'd be happy if I was a fan of one of those two teams.
Two pretty happy fan bases, certainly.
Yep. Packy Naughton begins to throw for St. Louis. And the 1-2 pitch, instead a check on the runner. Trey Turner. Turner with 17 steals. And the 1-2 pitch to Freddie Freeman. And Jim Hayes has gotten the wave going here at the ballpark. We appreciate that, Jim. He loves doing it every single night, home or road.
It's a good spot for it, too. Big inning here for the Cardinals. Big inning here for Junior Fernandez. See if he can spot that fastball up and in.
And the 2-2 goes the other way. Freddie Freeman, his third hit tonight. But two of the hits have just been beautiful pieces of hitting by Freddie.
That's why he's one of the best in the business. It was the first one that you're talking about was a 103-mile-an-hour fastball from Hicks in. This one's a slider that ends up backing up on Junior Fernandez. Look how that short swing. That's all he's trying to do. He just gets the bat to it, serves it out into left field.
Runners at first and second. Kisner out to buy Packy Naughton a little bit more time in the St. Louis bullpen, and there is nobody out here in the top of the seventh. Reminder that Christian Day at the ballpark presented by He Gets Us coming up. And this year's featured speakers, Matt Holliday, his wife Leslie. For tickets, visit Cardinals.com's Christian Day. Had a long visit with Matt yesterday. So he'll be here Saturday. Then on Sunday, his son could be the top pick in the draft. And then in about 3 weeks or so, he's being inducted into the Cardinals Hall of Fame.
Pretty busy summer,
I'd say,
for the Holiday family, and very exciting. The upcoming draft, his son Jackson, stud shortstop, left-handed bat.
I asked Matt, I said, what are your recollections of playing here? What first comes to mind? And he brought up the first game he ever played in. He said, I had used Todd Wellemeyer's spikes, Albert's bat. He said he didn't have any of his own equipment. He was late to getting there. And a base hit to right. Cuts a lead now to 6-5. Throw by Nootbaar all the way through and gets away. Fernandez will stop it from going into the dugout. But because it gets away, Will Smith winds up at second, and here comes LA. A catcher's interference, back-to-back hits, and the Dodgers are a base hit away from taking the lead.
We talked about it all game. This team just does not give in, and top to bottom, I know the Cardinals' bottom of their order has given them a lot. Well, this Dodgers offense from beginning to end is trouble.
That'll be an error on Nootbaar on the throw, allowing the runner to advance to second, and now it's Turner. Justin Turner has been awesome in these spots in his career. Runners in scoring position, hitting above 300 in his career. Infield in, and the 0-1 pitch to Justin Turner. Take it high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals and the Dodgers, last time they faced each other was last year's wild card game, and it was a Chris Taylor 2-run walk-off homer against Alex Reyes. Reyes, he's out with the torn labrum, and Taylor is out with a broken bone in his foot. And the 1-1.
Really is amazing over the years how much, I mean, these two teams have played each other coming into today's action. 2,085 matchups. The Dodgers 1,036 and 1,033 and 16. A couple ties in there against the Cardinals. I mean, these two teams have been head to head.
The 2-1, 3-1. Trace Thompson is scheduled up next, but on deck, it's Max Muncy. And a 3-1. Now, Ollie would wait until Muncy is announced and then more than likely go to Packy Naughton and set up a lefty-lefty matchup. We shall see. Muncy is hitting just 150 against lefties, but only 166 against the righties.
Yeah, it has been a struggle. I mean, the walk rate is still up there for Muncy, but when it comes to the power and just seeing the baseball, it just has not been there for him.
Does have 8 home runs. And the 3-2 pitch. And the base is loaded. Nobody out for the Dodgers. Dodgers have received 5 walks in the game. Muncy has been announced, and so Packy Naughton will be called into this ball game with the bases loaded and nobody out when we come back. Downtown St. Louis, and this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. The bases loaded, nobody out, and Packy Naughton, our Chevy, called to the pen, and he is going to face Muncy, who's 9 for 60 against lefties. And the last time we saw Packy Naughton, it was big. 16th appearance was 5 days ago at Atlanta. And he went an inning, 7 pitches, 6 strikes, and picked up a save.
He was great. We saw Packy 5 times in the 7 games on the most recent road trip.
And the first pitch, a ball to Muncy.
It's so good out of the pen, too. 12 of those games have been out of the bullpen. Only given up 1 earned run in 13 1/3 so far.
Bases loaded, infield in. Freeman, Smith, Turner aboard. And the 1-0. Off the plate, 2 balls, no strikes. Freddie Freeman, the base hit to left. Will Smith, RBI single to right. And Turner picked up the walk. And Muncy a year ago had 36 home runs. He's got 8 this year. And he's in the driver's seat with the bases loaded. And a count of 2 balls and no strikes. The next. Grounded foul.
If you're looking for chase, Max Muncy just isn't your guy. As much as he's been struggling, the eye is still there. There's only one hitter in baseball that has a higher walk rate than Max Muncy. That hitter is Juan Soto. That shouldn't surprise anybody. So a couple of those Packy Naughton sliders that you get a lot of guys to swing at, Muncy just doesn't tend to offer.
3-1. And it is skied on a 3-1 pitch to center fielder Dylan Carlson. Under it, makes the catch. And the runners stay put. You're a double play away from getting out of it. The key first out, Muncy.
I want to talk about a big league fly ball, Dan. This thing stays up in the air forever. Dylan Carlson able to get behind it. Goldie does a very good job of getting that before it scoots off the mound. And even though he fell behind, Packy Naughton did of Max Muncy, able to come back and get him.
Alberto is grounded into 3 double plays. Bases loaded, 1 out. Cardinals turn to double play back in the first inning. Alberto hitting .241 against left-handed pitching. Infield is in. And the first pitch to him. Off the plate, and a ball. He's 4 for 16 in his career with the bases loaded. Cardinals have used Hicks, Oviedo, Liberatore, Fernandez, and now Naughton. And the 1-0 is a fly ball into shallow left. Dickerson with the catch. Gets it out of the glove and back into the infield. And now there's 2 away. Then Houdini is 1 out away.
Packy ends up getting Alberto. You see the eyes just looking at Tommy Edman there. That thing almost drops out of the glove of Dickerson, but he's able to make the play.
And now it is Bellinger. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The bottom of the Cardinals lineup has done damage. A chance for the bottom of the lineup here for the Dodgers. And so far they have been quiet as Bellinger takes his time. Freeman, Smith, and Turner all on base as we play here in the top of the 7th. And now time called with the infield back and a little bit of a shift here for the Cardinals. Tommy Edman near the second base bag. So we've talked about Bellinger hitting under 200 against the lefties. The owner of 6 career grand slams. First pitch, a swing and a miss. Anxious moments here in the top of the 7th. The 0-1 pitch. A ball and a strike.
Anxious moments for sure, but that guy right there, Packy Naughton, while he wants that call on the corner from home plate umpire Will Little, he has been cool in these moments.
And the 1-1 pitch. Packy Naughton popped up. Kisner near the screen and out of play. 1 row deep. And Naughton 1 strike, 1 out away from sending us to the home half of the 7th. Barely made it to the other side of the screen as Kisner was there. Just out of room.
What a view right there. Yeah, I was with you. I thought that one was going to be staying in. Packy Naughton still got to make another pitch.
1-2 on Bellinger. The 1-2. Did not go. 2-2. But Scott Berry, the third base umpire, oh, so close. Ooh. Bases loaded. 1-run game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Naughton and Bellinger. The next.
I love the way that Packy Naughton has been going after Cody Bellinger here, going with the fastball, showing him heaters up in the zone. Then he went with the sweep and slider, barely was able to hold up.
At one point, the Cardinals had a lead of 6-1. Now 6-5. Bellinger trying to give the Dodgers the lead. Naughton trying to send us to the home half of the 7th. It's another 2-2 pitch. On its way. Popped up left side. Arenado giving chase. Sliding. Oh, and he almost came up with it. The great effort by Nolan Arenado.
The fans here applauding the effort. You see Nolan Arenado shift it over a little bit with Bellinger and just runs out of real estate right there. You're lucky. He's lucky. Pops up the way that he did. Oh.
Thank goodness he's all right, too. Full speed sliding into that dugout area. Watching him now kind of bent over a little bit, catching his breath. We all are in a tense moment here in this ball game. It's another 2-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Packy Norton. Bases loaded. Nobody out. And gets out of it. Packy Norton. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Packy comes in. He gets Muncy, Alberto, and the strikeout of Bellinger. What a moment here at the ballpark.
That was unbelievable from Packy Norton. Coming out there, attacking the opposition, as big of a spot as you're going to be in against one of the best clubs in baseball, and do that. Man, he's been good.
And now it is Paul Goldschmidt. The first pitch is off the plate, the ball. Max Muncy stays in the ball game at second base. Jake Lamb is in left field. He'll bat seventh. And the new pitcher, Chevy called to the pen, Yency Almonte, the 1-0. Off the end of the bat, little squibber that is fair and taken by Freeman, and he steps on the bag. Packy Norton, by the way, has inherited 9 runners this season. None have scored. None.
Might have found another fireman.
He's got some guts.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. He goes out there and the fastball plays. That thing's 94. He can elevate. The slider's good. The confidence is there.
And now it is Nolan Arenado. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Ryan Helsley getting loose. Off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Arenado is grounded out to second. Popped out to third baseman Justin Turner in foul territory. And a 2-out RBI single to center that brought in Carlson in the 4th. He's driven in 56 this year. The 2-0. 3-0. Nolan Gorman on deck. (3-0). And the 3-1 pitch. 3-2. Did go. First base umpire is Will Little.
Nice little sinker right there by Almonte. That thing got a lot of run to it. Then he's already shown you that slider that he can go the other way with. It's very difficult as a hitter when you have to split the plate and decide which way he's going.
And that'll be a 1-out walk for the Cardinals and Nolan Arenado. Almonte, it's his 22nd appearance. Appeared a couple of days ago for the Dodgers, win an inning, 12 pitches. In terms of home runs hit by Cardinal second basemen that are rookies, Nolan Gorman is already second. on that list. Joe McEwing at 6. Nolan has 6 as a second baseman. He hit his 8th home run tonight. Colton Wong at 11, his rookie year in 14.
I like his chances.
I will take Nolan Gorman getting that rookie record. Cardinals have received 3 walks in the ball game, and the 1-0 hit out of play. I mean, they aren't cheapies, that's for sure.
No, they're not. And this is on a breaking ball and a decent one under the zone. And the hands are just so quick. He's able to get to the ball, recognize the pitches. He can hunt a fastball. He can hit a breaking ball.
I think for the most part, too, he's going to have his fair share of strikeouts, but he is so quick. The hands are so quick. He's pretty balanced. I think they'll cut down eventually as he gets to understand this level, the league, those kind of things.
That's something Ollie Marmol was very adamant about that early in the season as he was coming up. So we believe that that will go down for him. And that's just one of the difficult spots for him, is being able to not offer at that fastball up above the zone.
This is the game, though, isn't it? I mean, he is the prototypical 2022 player. I mean, you're going to get your fair share of strikeouts, but he's going to walk into some home runs.
Sign me up for Nolan Gorman. I'll tell you that right now.
There's Albert Pujols, who is homered tonight. Career home run number 685. He walked and then struck out on a check swing. And the first pitch, breaking ball and a strike. And the 0-1 pitch. Brad, I sometimes survey the crowd when number 5 is up. Everybody just staring and watching. Not a lot of conversation, but really paying attention to the man at the plate.
Yeah, not generally a time to go grab a snack.
No, sir. And the 1-1 pitch to Pujols. Albert chops it up the middle. And the Cardinals strand a runner. We head to the 8th. 1-run game. Packing came in the 7th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Our Budweiser plays of the game. He gets Max Muncy, then Hanser Alberto, and then Bellinger. This was popped up. You thought, well, does he get him? No, it's out of play, out of reach. The check swing didn't go his way. Arenado was oh so close. Thank goodness wasn't hurt. And then this. A strikeout for Naughton. It's a 1-run game. Dodgers, Cardinals, and Gavin Lux will be the pinch hitter. Remember, all lefty bench, and they will face Ryan Helsley. Chevy called to the pen.
Offense jumps out early. You get out of a jam like that. That's a game. This is a game that you need to be able to nail down, and this is the right guy on the mound to be able to do it. The all-star Ryan Helsley.
And a fastball taken high. Lux is pinch hitting for Austin Barnes. And the 1-0 pitch by Helsley. Fouled back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan Helsley, the all-stars you mentioned, Brad, the right-handers, they're 7 for 70. Lefties 6 for 52. In game number 90 tonight for the Cardinals, Ryan Helsley has allowed 13 hits. Wow. Pretty impressive. That's impressive. He has struck out on the year 54 to go along with 12 walks.
Yeah, you look at that pitch right there. That's 101 miles an hour. It's spotted inside on the corner. Gavin Lux can't pull the trigger on that. There's no way.
And the 1-2 tied him up and a strikeout. 103 on the gun from Helsley.
Well, he spots up 101 in on a pitch that Lux, no chance he can pull the trigger on. This one, he can't stop himself. He sees it up out of the hand. Think about how quickly, and that's a great view of it, how quickly you have to make the decision to swing against a guy that throws like Helsley. He made the decision too early on a pitch that he just could not handle.
Here's Mookie Betts. A walk and a single, run scored tonight. And he is 1 for 3. First pitch is strike. Betts head-to-head with Helsley 0 for 1. Turner, who is on deck, 0 for 3 with a strikeout against Ryan. Betts with 20 home runs. And the 0-1. Nothing in 2.
That's the thing, too, when you have the velocity that Ryan Helsley has. Your off-speed offerings don't always have to be perfect. It's the change of speed that really gets it. That one backed up at the top of the zone, but Mookie not able to let it rip on it.
Outfield straight away. Fouled back. Now you look at Mookie Betts, and he's not a big guy, but they talk about the fact that he generates incredible bat speed. And that's where a lot of his power is going to come from, and the fact that he's got 20 home runs and he is a threat to hit a home run.
Well, he's a threat in any count, too. We talked about him earlier, too. Another guy that really doesn't expand his strike zone a lot. Difficult to get him chasing. Puts the ball in play a ton.
And the 0-2 pitch.
A spot like this, too. I'd rather Mookie Betts beat me away than in.
They went in, and it's yanked foul. I'm with you. You talk to the great closers in the game, and they say, look, if I'm going to get beat, it's away. It stays in the ballpark. It's not a home run, generally speaking.
Yeah, not to say that Mookie can't go the other way and doesn't have the power to get it out of the ballpark. I just believe that Ryan Helsley's fastball away from him is really, really good.
The 1-2 evens it up at 2-2. Betts and Giancarlo Stanton will be the 6th and 7th players to start an all-star game in the outfield for both leagues in their careers. Vladimir Guerrero Sr. did that. Ken Griffey Jr. did it with Seattle and the Reds. Dave Winfield, Jason Bay, Frank Robinson.
I'm not sure I would have guessed Jason Bay.
It's some good years.
He really did.
Yeah. 2-2 taken low. Mookie's former team, the Red Sox, get Chris Sale back tonight. And his first start since Game 5 of the 2021 ALCS. He's been on the IL 7 times since 2018.
That's a rough go.
And a 3-2 pitch. Got him! It's a late call and a strikeout of Betts. He was taken off the shin guard, had it unstrapped just about, and then the call was made. It was as if Will Little had to think about it.
Well, I think that he made a great call here. This one is a breaking ball. It's very similar to a pitch earlier that Betts wasn't going to be able to pull the trigger on. Just the change of speed got him. Now Helsley might have got one here above the zone, but nice job here against one of the toughest hitters in the game.
Trey Turner. And Turner hits it out to center. Carlson is back. He's got it! On the track. And Dillon tracks it down. And it's been an entertaining night of baseball here at Busch Stadium. You wonder, is Ryan Helsley able to go back out there for the 9th inning? Or is that going to be it for him? Yeah, looks like that's going to be it. And I can just see the lips of Ollie saying Gio, and with that, Gallegos is up.
Well, let's hope Gio is ready to lock this thing down. The Chevy call to the bullpen for the Dodgers. David Price in for his 22nd game of the year. A little bit different role to see Price in. Been in the league since 2008. Cy Young Award winner.
And the first pitch, a strike. It's Lars Nootbaar came in the ball game in the top of the 7th. Then Corey Dickerson, Andrew Kisner. Here's an 0-1 pitch by David Price. 0-2. Price opted out of the championship season for the Dodgers in 2020. Came over from the Boston Red Sox. Many good years with Tampa Bay. And tonight his 22nd appearance. Pitched 2 days ago, 3rd of an inning, gave up 3 hits. Home run, 20 pitches. This is not the same David Price from years ago.
No, it is not. David Price, also one of the ones, you remember a couple of years back before he signed that deal with the Red Sox, that it sounded like it was close to being a deal with the Cardinals.
Interesting here is that Will Smith is now catching, and you've got Lux at short, and David Price actually goes into the ball game, and he'll be in the 2nd spot in their lineup. And the 2-2 ripped into right field. Off the bat of Lars Nootbaar, all the way to the corner. Newt to 2nd, and he'll stop there with a leadoff double for St. Louis. The home run last night and a double here in game 1 of this series.
All of a sudden, Newt is heating up, isn't he? That's that short stroke that we saw so much of last year when he came up to the Cardinals. Just able to get to anything that's elevated. Hands so quick. Misses his spot in, trying to go away. That good flat swing there by Lars Nootbaar. Boy, you could use a little insurance in a tight ball game against this Dodger team.
The Dodgers will have Freeman, Smith, and Justin Turner coming up in the top of the 9th. And here we go again with the bottom of the St. Louis lineup producing. Dickerson, a pair of doubles. Chops one up the middle. Glove by Lux, and he makes the play. And Nootbaar advancing to 3rd. Dodgers will have to bring the infield in. It's a fine play by Gavin Lux, stabbing at it right at the last second to get there, ranging to his left.
Yeah, Lux is one of those guys that the Dodgers feel like they could put anywhere on the diamond.
Infield in, and it is Kisner. And a base hit to center, RBI, then the bloop base hit to right, run batted in, and also grounded out to 3rd. First pitch to him, fouled back in a good rip. An issue for the Cardinals coming into this series for Ollie was runners in scoring position. And the last 2 games, 7 for 10 for St. Louis.
I'm not exactly sure what has shifted for them, but I'll take it.
How about a squeeze?
I like the way you think.
Or that, a base hit into left. Kisner, 3-hit night, 3 runs batted in, and a 2-run lead for St. Louis.
Well, Dan, like I was saying, why squeeze when you can squeeze it through the left side of the infield as they're drawn in right past Gavin Lux. Breaking ball down and in. We've talked a lot about it's a very compact swing that Andrew Kisner has. Just gets to the ball quickly. And he wanted insurance. Got a little bit here. Keep it rolling.
Now Tommy Edman, 1 for 4 tonight. So 1 out, back to a 7-5 2-run lead for St. Louis. Inside to Tommy. I'll take Tommy this side of the plate against anybody.
Well, he and Dylan Carlson, who's on deck, both of these guys from the right side, the numbers have been a lot better.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Tommy Edman. Fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Kisner, ties his season high in hits and runs batted in. 3-3. Two balls and a strike. Carlson on deck. Another plus play from Dylan. The ball hit by Trey Turner to end the top of the 8th. Base hit into left. 3 hits allowed by David Price. A double, Nootbaar, Kisner, the RBI single, and now this single off the bat of Tommy Edman. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less. For a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Nobody throwing in the bullpen. I'd love to see Goldie come up against a lefty here in this inning, and you know what? Maybe put this game out of reach. He's on deck. Carlson is grounded to third, short, walked and scored, fly to center. 0 for 3 tonight. Runners at first and second. And 1 out. Cardinals with 13 hits. They've out hit the Dodgers 13-9. First pitch, a strike. Giovanni Gallegos will be the 7th pitcher used by the Cardinals tonight in this game. Just standing out there. He's hot and ready to go. The 0-1.
It's been so nice to see a couple of nights in a row where the offense has been able to come alive. I think that the bullpen overall for the Cardinals has done a very good job, especially Packy Naughton getting himself out of that bases loaded jam. But this offense is showing signs of breaking out.
The 1-1. 1-2 the count. Edman, a runner at first, Kisner at second, and the 1-2 pitch by David Price. And it brings in Goldie. Paul Goldschmidt is hitting .466 against left-handed pitching this season. 10 doubles, 4 home runs, and against David Price, 2 for 5 with a double head-to-head. Two outs and 2 on. The first to Goldschmidt. Ground ball left side. Very close at second as they get Tommy Edman. Ollie's going to take a look at the word from Skip Schumacher. Look to be out.
It was close.
And the Cardinals will not challenge. Lux. Ooh, very close. Stretch by Muncy. Gallegos coming on when we come back. All around, Nelly to Albert after a home run, number 685. Nolan Gorman later, a home run in the third. Nootbaar a double. Packy Naughton gets out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation. At that point, it was a one-run game, now two. And the Cardinals have used Hicks, Oviedo, Liberatore, Fernandez, Naughton, Helsley, and now Giovanni Gallegos. It's Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Justin Turner. And the first pitch, strike one. Freeman with 3 hits tonight, 3 for 4. Giovanni making his 32nd appearance, pitched 3 days ago against the Phils. Win an inning, couple of hits, gave up a run, and took the loss, number 3 this season. That was the game on Saturday. Derek Hall had the double into right center. That run, that pinch runner eventually came around to score after they pinch ran for Hall at second base. So Giovanni back out there, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, lefties certainly have had more success against Giovanni this year, nearly doubling the OPS against him. I like that pitch, 95 up and in against Freeman.
Said bat feels a little bit more comfortable with a 2-run lead as opposed to Freeman digging in, and 1 swing could tie it up.
It certainly does. Look, Freddie Freeman has been hot, and he's hit 2 really ridiculous pitches in this ball game today. Had one from Hicks early, 103 in, that he dropped the head on. I mean, this guy's just, he's a stud.
And the 2-1 pitch. In this situation, stating the obvious, but no walks. Can't have them.
No, make him earn it. You got a defense behind you that you trust.
The 3-1 pitch by Gallegos. High drive into right, and it's back to a 1-run lead. Freddie Freeman, a 4-hit night, and that's home run number 12.
Well, Dan, I'd say he earned it.
That is a blast, distance-wise, and how quickly it got out of here, too.
It was 95 coming in, 110 miles an hour going out. You see the target down and away. It's down, but it ends up leaking towards the middle. That is a quick stroke by Freddie Freeman.
How about the catch there by the fan?
Shocker, another Arenado jersey.
And it's back to a 1-run lead. And a strike. Will Smith. Freeman a single, double, another single, and now a solo home run. His 12th of the year. Driven in 2 tonight. He's up to 56 in the 0-1. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside of yesterday, the last handful of games all feel tight. 1-run games.
You like drama, Dan.
Big time. And it's 1-2. There's a 1-2 pitch. Gallegos. Just a bit high.
It could be very effective if he drops his breaking ball in right off of that one.
And the 2-2 pitch. Got him on the inside corner. And out number one here in the ninth. Smith didn't like it. And now it brings in Justin Turner.
Yeah, Will Smith might have not have liked it, but it was in fact a strike. It was a slider backed up on Giovanni Gallegos a little bit, but Smith not able to get a good swing off on it.
And the first pitch to Turner is a strike. Turner tonight, strikeout swinging. Walked in the third, fly to center, and walked again in the seventh. And the 0-1 pitch by Giovanni Gallegos. Now 0-2. Turner in the hole, 0-2, and the next by Gallegos. Bounced to the plate.
Well, Justin Turner is a very good breaking ball hitter down in the strike zone. You think you wonder, you're showing him a few sliders. Do you want to elevate with a fastball or throw the heater away?
The 1-2 up high. 2-2. Outfield is straight away deep. Turner with 8 home runs this year. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. And the Cardinals 1 out away from taking game 1 of this series.
I love the decision here to go back to the fastball away between Giovanni Gallegos and Andrew Knizner. Just mentioned the breaking ball's down. You figured if he backs one up, that could be trouble against Turner. Sticks with the heater. Nice call.
Max Muncy. $37,000 plus on their feet. The first pitch just off the plate. Season best 27, above 500. Cardinals trying to make it 3 in a row. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Well, you know he's got the green light. He could tie it up with just one swing of the bat.
He can. It's really interesting to me, Dan, with Muncy, with the struggles that he's had, the fact that he isn't more antsy, still takes his walks.
The 3-0. And now the tying run is on. 4 straight balls delivered by Gallegos. Jake Lamb.
We're going to talk it over here with the pinch hitter Lamb. This is a game, Dan. I mean, all hands have been on deck. You have gotten production from basically every corner of your roster, and you'd love to be able to nail this one down.
Lamb is the go-ahead run. The tying run at first base. His first plate appearance tonight. He does not have an at-bat against a lefty, and this season 261, just 6 for 23. Shift on the right side, and the first pitch by Gallegos, way inside. And the 1-0 pitch by Gallegos. 2-0.
Pretty good spot right there. Home plate umpire Will Little not giving that inside corner against the lefty.
Inning started with a home run by Freddie Freeman to pull the Dodgers to within 1. Craig Kimbrell begins to throw just in case. The 2-0. 3-0. Nobody throwing for St. Louis in their bullpen. The 3-0 pitch. Swinging on 3-0 and a high fly ball into left center, and this should do it. Carlson is there. Cardinals hold on for a 7-6 win. They take game 1 of the 3-game set against LA.
What a win. What a victory for the Cardinals. Used the opener. It was Hicks, Oviedo, Liberatore, the entire bullpen really getting in on the mix. Packy Naughton got out of a bases loaded. Nobody out. Jam. Albert hit 685. Gorman hits his 8th. I mean, what a ball game to kick off this series against the Dodgers.
Woo. Entertaining, and St. Louis holds on, and the Cardinals pick up their 48th win. They're now 6 above 500. A 1-run victory for the Cardinals, 7-6, the final over the Dodgers. Plenty of Cardinals coverage is coming up. Stay with us. The post-game show comes your way next.